All right, welcome back to the channel. So winter has set in, kind of fall. It's cold here. So let me show you. It's a little bit chilly in the garage. We're at a crisp 55 degrees. So not too bad, but it's a lot cooler than 95. Anyway, so today we are getting ready for a trip. So next week I am going to, it's like Zuki World Fall Classic, whatever it is. Zuki World, some online forum. They do a kind of a get together in Central Oregon, and that's where I'm going on that next week. So what we're doing today is we're gonna prep the tracker for that trip. I'm gonna kind of show you what I do to just check it over. I mean, it is my daily driver, so everything should be just fine, but you never know. So we're gonna check all the fluids. We're gonna check the fluid in. We'll check the oil. That's pretty easy, just like that. Nice and clean. We're good on oil. Check our antifreeze. Check the cap. There's no foam on the cap, so I don't have a blown head gasket. Look in here. I got antifreeze in the top up there. And then check my puke tank. There's a little bit in the bottom of the puke tank. I'll probably put a little bit in there. Check my battery here. Check the terminals. They're both good. This morning I didn't video it. I should have. I'm terrible at this YouTube thing. But I had some corrosion on here, and I don't like having the corrosion because is it the end of the world? Not really. But what, just take the old baking soda trick. You put a couple tablespoons of baking soda in the bottom of a little cup. Put some water in there, mix it all up with some water, make a nice solution, and just the opposite pH of the battery acid, and you dump it on here. It neutralizes the acid, and it just cleans up the terminals. And then when you're done with that, I have what I did this morning, because again, it's cold. I took the good old-fashioned watering can from the garden, and I watered my battery. Just watered it down just to neutralize all the stuff and wash it off to try to get as much of that stuff. Didn't do it in the garage. I did it outside. So in the gravel. Environmentally friendly? Debatable. Anyway, so the other thing we're gonna do, we're gonna crawl underneath and check the front diff. We're gonna check the back diff. Hopefully the front diff's fine, because if you remember from a couple videos back, I just replaced it. So front diff should be fine. We're gonna check the boots on our CV axles, check the oil in the rear diff. We're gonna check the oil in the transmission. We're gonna check the oil in the transfer case. I may check my hubs, make sure my hubs are greased, make sure that's all good. What else do I check? Normally I check my windshield washer fluid, make sure that's topped off, but it doesn't work, so we're gonna ignore that part. Tires, inspect the tires, make sure there's no nails in them. Also look at the sidewalls, make sure I don't have any big splits or anything like that. Look through that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's the main list of what I do when I do this stuff. Just looking at it, trying to figure out what else I would do. Usually I'll clean out the inside, because it's always nice to start a trip with a clean vehicle. This one's it's a bit dirty. I'll show you in here. I got some stuff on the floor there. I got some stuff on the floor back here. I still haven't cleaned it out. I still haven't cleaned it out for my hunting trip. So, which was a lot of fun, by the way. But yeah, that's about where we're at. So, not sure what the next thing is. Probably underside. So I'm gonna get the thing up on jack stands and get underneath. All right, so we got it up on jack stands, and we're gonna start with the front differential, which is right there. Yes, I have a steel differential. Yes, you can be jealous. No, I will not sell it to you. Okay, so let's see if we can film this. So the correct, their correct size for these is supposedly 10 millimeter. But you know what? 3/8 ratchet works pretty good. Sometimes All right. Ooh. It's a tight bugger. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Yep, 3/8 ratchet for the win. Yes, you're supposed to use 10mm. No, I don't care. All right, no oil fell out of there, which is okay. Best way to check this is I usually take my pinky, or my regular finger, but usually my pinky, in here, bend it down, and as you can see on the finger there, I got oil. Especially on the back side of the fingernail. So yeah, the oil is right up here, right where it should be. So that tells us oil in the front diff is good. All right, got the tight working quarters in here. You don't get to see my pretty face while I do this one. So here is CV axle. Notice how I spin the tire, the axle doesn't spin. That's what a locking hub does. You reach out here, we're gonna lock the hub in, and now see the tire spins, the axle spins. So it tells us two things. One, our hub is good, and two, it allows us to look at our CV boot, and we're just gonna rotate this. We're gonna look for brakes. So we got the dirt, see we got the dirt clod right here. Let's just wait till that dirt clod comes back around. Let's move the light so we can see a little better. There we go, see a lot better there. I mean, you can see some wear in the rubber, but it's still sealing. There's no grease leaking out. We're in good shape. There's the dirt clod come back around. Let's check the other end of the CV axle. Give it a spin. We're clear. We're good. You come out here. Unlock the hub. Oh, it's still engaged. What you do is, this is why you back up just a little bit, and then you're good to go. See, now it's disengaged. Onto the other side. Okay, first we're gonna spin the tire, see if the axle spins, then we're gonna lock the hub, make sure the hub's locking properly, and then spin the tire. So, here we go, let's spin the tire, axle doesn't move. Let's lock the hub, hub's locked. Spin the tire, you can hear a little click, and we're spinning. Let's check the top CV boot. There's weather cracking, they're old. These were used when I put them on. But you know what? They're fine until they crack, until they break. And we're in good shape all the way around. See the leaf, we'll use the leaf as our marker just for fun. Oh look, oh, is that the leaf or is that the cow turd? It could be part of the cow pie. Like I said, hunting was fun. All right, check the other one. That's better. Lights moved. See that? We're in good shape. You can see the cracking on it again, but it's not broken all the way through. These things move a lot, and so all the way around, no breaks. The other thing we want to do, we're going to reach in here, grab on this. Let's get rid of that cow turd. Yep, it's cow turd. Other thing we're going to do, we're going to reach right in here. We're going to grab this axle. I'm going to wiggle it back and forth a little bit. I don't have a lot of play in it. There's a little bit of play on this end. That's where it goes through and is in the hub and everything, so it's moving a little there, but we're good. And now reach around here, disengage our hub. I'll show you this again, maybe I can. So I'll spin the tire forward. Oh, it disengaged right away. So that tells us multiple things. Four-wheel drive is working. Hubs are working. Axles are in good shape. Let's come over here. I forgot to wiggle this one. back to the passenger side, and we're gonna give it a little wiggle, nice and tight. All right, now to go, shoot, you're right in my face. Okay, now to go underneath. And what we're gonna do, next thing back, will be the front drive line. I think I just barely did U-joints on this one. Like, did U-joints, I think I've only put it in 4-wheel drive for one trip since I've done the U-joints on the front end of this. So this should be in good shape. Sorry, hand on the camera. So either way, we're gonna check them. All right. Use a fancy light here. All right, point the camera at it so you can see it. Look up in there, see the U-joint. We're gonna wiggle it. It doesn't focus very well, there we go. Wiggle it back and forth. I don't have any play in it. I'm gonna wiggle it up and down, left and right, nice and tight. Good shape there. Check the back one. Again, we don't see any grease spraying out anywhere. I should have my grease gun, I should grease these, but I don't have it right now. I loaned it out. Again, up and down, back and forth. That U-joint is tight. Next thing we're gonna do, and same thing, exact thing, I'm not gonna bore you with the details and go through it again. We're gonna reach up here and check that plug right there on our transmission. That's going to tell us the oil level of the transmission. And then we're gonna move back a little ways and look what we discover. See what we discover? You see that? I got oil spraying out the rear main seal of the transfer case. Lovely. Which is exactly why you do inspections like this. So I've also got here's my top plug right here on my transfer case. I'm going to check the oil in it and ignore the seal. But I am going to look in here to make sure the seal is still in place, because I've had that fall out before. And in case you're wondering, that's the 4th seal I put in it, and none of them have worked. So, all right, I'm going to do that one, do those two. Might as well carry on to the back. No, yeah, that's right. U-joints, we're gonna check U-joints again. Do exactly the same thing with this U-joint as we did with the front one. We're gonna wiggle it up and down, back and forth. Ooh. See that? You shouldn't be getting that much play out of that, which means this output bearing on the transmission is going out. But you know what? It's time for a transmission rebuild. I know that. But I've known that for a while. Again, but what I'm checking is this U-joint. I'm ignoring that. U-joint's good. This one here. And I'm gonna check this one. You got check it for play back and twist this way, up and down, back and forth. We're good. Yeah, U-joint's good. And then again, rear differential back here. Nope, you can't see it. There we go. Rear differential. We're going to pull that plug and do exactly the same thing with it as we did on the front. The other thing I should point out is, yes, I'm aware my wheel seal on this side is leaking. Again, second one I put in hasn't worked. Quite frustrated with the quality of things these days, but what do you do? What else is there underneath here to inspect? I don't think there is anything else. We'll point out that you look right here. Yes, I'm aware my engine oil is leaking. It might be around the oil pan, or it could be off the distributor on the back of the transfer case. So, I'll return to the double chin. All right. That is walk around underneath the vehicle, what I do to prepare for a trip. A longer trip. I check all my fluids, because if you run out of fluid in any one of these places, it's going to be a long day. U-joints, you can break U-joints if they're starting to fail We already checked them. We're checked them, we're good. If we weren't good, I have time, I can put a new one in. Let's see. You don't want to do this the night before your trip, because if you have a bad thing, you don't have time to fix it. Even a week before is a little tight. Let's see. I think that's about it. Lights, usually I check lights, make sure my lights are working, high beam, low beam, turn signals, brake lights, tail lights, all that stuff, make sure all that stuff's working. I know they're working on this, I drive it every day. Yeah, that's about it. So, you'll see where we're at on the video. I might show you some of the stuff I put inside the vehicle for a trip like this. I have some various tow straps and things like that. I don't have a winch yet, but again, there's my beautiful, sexy bumper. Love that bumper, love the way it looks. I think I'm gonna end up installing a winch right in this area right here. That'll be another day, another video. That's about it. So, yeah, I'm gonna go underneath there, finish checking. I'm gonna finish checking all my fluids. It's extremely hard to do it, difficult to do it with the camera. You can't see what I'm doing, and it's not terribly difficult. You pull the plug out, you stick your finger in. You usually stick it around the hole like this, and you want it to come up just to touch the back side of your nail right there, just to verify you've got oil up that high. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna check those oils, and then I'll show you what I carry inside. That's what I'm gonna do. I've already decided. All right, so take it there. All right, last thing to check before we go on to what I carry inside of it is the air filter. I know I already pulled the screws out of this. Lift it up. Oh, look, it's pretty and clean. Wait, that's the clean side. All right, look at the other side of it. As predicted, there's a little bit of grass in it, but it's still just fine. It's not plugged up. So I'm gonna put that back together and go on to show you what I carry inside the vehicle. Okay, so I laid out what I carry in the tracker so you can see it a little bit better. Number one is this toolbox, this specific toolbox, because it's built by Crescent. This is the second one of these I've had. The old one is over there on the shelf. The only reason I had to get a new one is because the box is disintegrating, and I love the organization on this thing. It's got half metric, half SAE, and up to 19 millimeter, which with this vehicle, you can just about rebuild the entire thing with that tool set. I love it. Nothing in there is not usable. Everything in there, like my old one, I think I've used everything in it. It's not one of the ones where you get a hammer, a claw hammer in the middle of a mechanic's tool set. I don't get it. Some of these things, and it takes out half your toolbox. So, but hammers are always good to have. And there's some things in here that aren't in here. This is a smaller toolbox. I've carried, that one I've had for 12, 13 years. This one's a relatively new one, but I've carried around in the tracker forever. I've actually helped other people more than I've helped myself. So, set of cut resistant gloves, always good to have. This is my little bag of tricks. So I've got heavy 1/2 inch impact wrench, because if you want to change a tire, who wants to do it by hand? Nobody. Deer shiner, spotlight, or flashlight, I mean. Batteries for these things. I'll have a couple more of them in here. Mini sledge, because if it don't move, you can make it move. Ball peen hammer, because sometimes you have to use that as the anvil and this is the hammer. It works. Large crescent wrench, or adjustable wrench, I don't care what you call it. Pry bar. Awesome to have. Let's see. This is just a piece of 1 inch solid shaft, and it's awesome. It's like an awesome punch. You can't quite get in there with your hammer. Put this on it, and it's a good heavy transfer. So, socket for the lug nuts on my truck. Socket for the lug nuts on my tracker. A pair of snap ring pliers if I have to change an axle. which I'm still trying to decide if I'm bringing a spare axle with me or not. Haven't decided yet. Don't think this trip is going to warrant it. Chisel, short extension for 1/2-inch drive, a little pick. I don't know that I need that one. Zip ties, wire cutters, dikes, whatever you want to call them. My favorite set of channel locks. That goes in there. And then the old crap bag is I have a strap. This one I think is a 12-footer. What is it? This is 12-foot. 12-foot strap. Open loop on each end. Works great. A big strap. It works. It's long. I think that's like a 30-footer. And then I got a couple big, heavy 2-inch ratchet straps. That one. That one. Smaller one. I don't know that I really need this. Little 1-inch ones just for tying crap down if you have to. If you have to tie your hood down or other various things. Come along. I don't have a winch on the front of my vehicle. This will get me out of bad situations if I have to. Come along. I can pull my tracker back onto my trailer if I have to. I mean, that's how you might watch my videos with the sunbeams. That's how I got the sunbeams back on the trailer. And then my high-low jack. You're asking where I got this? I got it at a yard sale, so good luck. It is a crank jack with the little foot here. Lifts all the way up to here. This is awesome. It's plenty heavy to do the tracker, the trailer. I don't know that I'd lift my truck with it, but actually I'd probably try. Anyway, and then you just lift this, it pulls up like that. And then I have a bag for my oh crap bag. And then all this stuff basically magically Mary Poppins and back in the back of the tracker. And then the one spare I am positively going to carry with me is these things. We'll call them hubcaps. These replace your hub on the front of the tracker. If you break a hub, you can slide this on. No, it's not able to disengage again, but I bought these things at the junkyard for 11 bucks. It's a very cheap get out of jail free card. And I brought the bolts that go with it, and you bolt that on in place of a hub. If you break a hub, you'll get off the hill. You will get home. All right, that's it. There might be a couple little various things I throw in here. I pack way more stuff than I really need. I'll probably have maybe some lubricants, some aerosol spray stuff, but probably not. Probably some hand rags, some hand towels and stuff like that. I'll probably throw in here, but I'm looking over my toolbox, seeing if there's anything else I need. I don't think there is. But yeah, this is the main stuff I carry with me because luckily I've never had to use it on the trail. But I've always had it with me just in case. It's not a lot of stuff, but it packs up really small, really tight. It's a super light vehicle, it's a super light tool set, but it's extremely capable. That box that box does a lot right there. Highly recommend it. Yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.